So the answer was literally Orajel. Lidocaine and then Orajel. So what I ended up doing about my tooth is I went to the emergency room freaking twice because of the amount of pain that I was going through. What happened was, as I said before, I've been pulling it out myself. It went well with the other tooth. I don't know what was different. I don't know what was different about this one that I worked on as opposed to the other one. But basically, it went right down to the root. So essentially, it hit the nerve, but at the very bottom, of that tooth. And so it was just totally exposed. By using the lidocaine, I created a layer above that nerve. So I was able to function. And what they gave me painkillers, and I felt some pressure coming back. And I took the antibiotic, of course. I'm up to date on that. But I had a little bit of pressure coming back, so I took a half of what they gave, a half of one of the the painkillers that they gave me. And other than that, I haven't had to take anything else. I'm just going to keep a layer of freaking Orajel over the top of the tooth, just in case, until I get this thing removed. But that was a huge amount of pain. It's because when I was swishing out the salt water, I felt a piece of the nerve come out of my face because I hadn't had anything to eat, and it was I know exactly what came out and where it came out of because I felt around and I was like, oh well, that's a crevice that didn't exist before, so yeah. So that was dangerous. That was a dangerous amount of pain. I've dealt with that much pain before, but not so suddenly and unexpectedly. That was holy crap. So that's cool. I got past that. I got my new license, and I got my thing I got my identity verified on DoorDash. Basically, I had to wait a couple of days. I couldn't work for 3 days because it wasn't registering my ID had expired or something. I only got something. I can't read it because right now I got you on 2 screens. But basically, I was telling you guys about Farmtown. Go check out my latest video on that game. That's the old version of the game. It's already updated. So the game is absolutely updating, and it's expanding quick. It's a Pump Fun token. So for it to have an actual project behind it is pretty much what I want to do with my project is when I go to launch these coins, I want to have a project that backs that coin that can contribute, basically back into the coin. It's I want an actual ecosystem on Pump Fun, but also on Base Network. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the resources right at the moment. At some point, I'll end up doing it. It's going to take me a while. A couple of hiccups here and there. But go check that game out. I put an hour and 20-minute long video. That token has been pumping. I called it. I called it on my live stream. I said it would pump, and I was watching it. So I was using a secondary app before to do my live stream, and it put me in this little tiny bubble, and I was able to just without screencasting it, I was able to use my phone and go live. catastrophe sort of averted, but if I knew that all it took was just a little bit of lidocaine, like imagine. I got a rant coming. I do have a rant coming. Not even a planned rant, but technically a planned rant. You know, how much money did it cost me because of an emergency like this? And yet they don't want to fund me to get, you know, the thing fixed. You know, if I could just get funded to get, you know, things fixed, then these other expenses don't come up. It's just insane. The system's broken. It shouldn't cost that much to get antibiotic. And maybe some lidocaine. And definitely some lidocaine in this case. Like, that was appalling service. That was insane. I can't even talk on it right now. Once I get out of the situation, I can start bringing up old situations and talk about these things in depth. But I don't even want to be bothered. It's because I don't want to be bothered with it. I don't want to think about it unless it comes up. Right now, I'm trying to get out there and make some money before the end of the night. I've got my ID verified and stuff. I'm ready to go. It's kind of bright. I can see right now. You guys can probably babes. I just see, like, I think a spam message. On Atlas Earth, I got 500 Atlas bucks right now, just sitting on them, waiting until I get 600 because I'm going to go out and buy the remainder of the amount of parcels that I can buy before the multiplier gets nerfed. And then after that, basically once I hit 870 parcels, that's when I have to, like, stop buying them for a bit until I can get like 75% into the next tier where I'll be nerfed again. Because my 5x rent boost will turn to 4x rent boost if I go 871 parcels. So I have to play the game a little bit differently. That's the trick with Atlas Earth, if anybody does play it. You got to realize that the rent tiers, they get nerfed. They throttle down as you get more parcels. So, like, once you get over a certain threshold, each threshold, you get 151 parcels. That 30x boost turns into 20x boost. So just because you went and bought 151 parcels, you know what I mean? Like, you want to stay at 150 parcels until, like, you've earned enough to get into the next stage. Basically you're going to get, like, what, 1,000 Atlas bucks or something. No, it's like 10,000. I'm not here to do math right now. Alright. That was traumatizing the other day. That was insane. So in Farmtown, I'm level 35. Like, my experience seems to be maxed out. I got 55,000 experience. I keep, like, seeing 50-something thousand. I haven't like checked if it's 51,000 or 55,000 if I'm actually receiving experience right now. But basically, I'm maxed out in the game. I got the 500,000 gold storage thing, which costs, like, too much money if you were to spend money on it. But I'm basically ahead in a game that just came out, is on Solana, and is just extremely bullish. This token is insanely bullish. Reminds me of, like, when I first got into Sunflower Land and it started going up. Like, basically, it's like months later or maybe a year later, they went to do a token migration on the new coin. It was set to the same exact value, but then people started pouring into that one on top of it. So we basically just exchanged our old tokens for the new token, 1-to-1 value, and yeah, the thing shot up into the sky. Tons of people were buying it, and then it went up 11x from where I had gotten it. All right, DoorDash, let's go. So I only got seafood. Oh, I know, right? The world is reeing. The freaking All right, let's get this done. Come on, DoorDash, give me an order. Let's run it. Let's fly. So it'll be my first order in like 3 days, if I can get one. Maybe I should just get closer to the store, I guess. I just don't want to go slow, because when I go slow, there's a higher chance that I'll get a flat. It's because I'll be on the, shoulder of the road and not in the road. But I should just go under the actual road and just ride like I would normally be riding, and just flip the universe off, I guess. That's what I'm gonna do. What can be talked about, though? There's plenty of stuff that can be said, but nothing can be really changed. I haven't talked. I mean, I did a live stream on Elon Musk being the world's richest person, 1 trillion heir. That's kind of interesting, right? I talked about that on the World Blog. I'm gonna focus on the road. I get bored. If I find something to talk about, I'll probably start a new stream. Strategy is definitely changing, though. We're more riding on this damn shoulder. I'm so sick of getting flat. It's like it can be prevented. Yeah, it sucks. That was a whole big wheeler that just rode by me. Dangerous. But it's like an 80% chance I'll get a flat tire at some point by riding on the shoulder. No thanks. Risk of being hit by a car instead. It's also legal to do. Someone finds me sitting down there on the road. This is legal. There's no designated bike lane. You notice how an 18 freaking or whatever, 8, or how many wheels does it freaking have? They don't have 18 wheels, dude. Where's the big Mack trucks, whatever? How many wheels they got? So that guy was able to actually maneuver around me, give me that 3 feet of space. Imagine that. Somebody was able to maneuver their truck properly and with respect to a bicyclist. But somebody in their fucking personal truck, their little pickup truck, they can't handle that. Imagine seeing 90% off like stores that were just like making discounts. It's cool again, like, as if it was something to be talked about. Alright, I'm gonna sit in this parking lot and I'm gonna hope that I get a order. Oh, hell yeah, dude. It's getting over. I don't know where it's at. Oh, is you kidding me? 1 second. I might even... Dude, that's $6.25 for 10.5 miles. Hell no. Wait. I don't think that's 10.5 miles. I think it's just imagining me like taking a different route.
Drive south.
Yeah.
Then turn right.
Yeah, it's 3 miles there, 3 miles back, plus, okay, so it's gonna be like an 8 mile area. Here we go. It'd be nice if you gave me another one on the way there. My internet connection will probably cut out while I go in here. It's usually what happens, so I protect it. Technical difficulties, about 1 minute or less. Might have to leave the app because DoorDash is missing. Still got to work on my body cam setup. You're in the completely wrong way. of sit back and let all the cars go, just to be, you know, courteous, and hopefully nobody runs me over. I'm being courteous. So I let about 5 cars go. I was going the speed limit the whole time. Let them all go in front of me. Less chance of them trying to pass me. dash, that's great. Besides that, like, I made some more music on Suno. Pretty cool. The game. I published 3 different songs. If you go to my posts, you'll be able to find my Suno. It's just, my channel name. Everything's going all right. Imagine that if I was able to get lidocaine, that issue earlier wouldn't have been an issue. I haven't had to use anything for the pain. I was kind of scared yesterday. One time I was like, oh no, I feel a little bit of pain. And then I threw some Orajel on it just in case. And then I took a half a painkiller. And basically, like, the pain didn't actually happen. But I haven't had one since. So, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't had to take anything for the severe pain since. All I've done is put the Orajel on. I'm not a person that usually needs that kind of stuff. The problem was, it's just so sudden. It was like a cannon to my freaking face. But imagine that, and then being stuck out in the woods and living in the woods. I mean, you don't have anybody telling you, this is what you're using to get that to stop hurting. That is so random. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go relax after my first dash in 3 days. I'm kind of excited. It's gonna happen. I've been eating very much in the last few days, so maybe I'll try to eat something. So I think that my stream there is really not that eventful right now. I'm pretty tired. My brain's still recuperating. Literally, I almost went like insane. That was so much pain. Just have that in mind, guys. Like, teeth pain is the worst. I could say what I dealt with when it came to a septic infection, that was incredibly bad. That was worse than, tooth pain. But tooth pain is right below it. It's right there. And that was insane. So I need to get my teeth fixed and so I can deal with that again. But before the great reset, the next cycle. So I'm gonna leave my stream now, and you guys can go check out my video, my latest video on like my actual uploads, and check that game out if you'd like. You'd also like to see in this description in this video, I put my friend code so you guys can visit my farm maybe or something. But I'm gonna go. That's on Farm Town. I'm gonna go.